we get
Oh, I
water.
hope it works for you.
No, me too.
You know,
Smart
It's
water.
called smart water.
We're on, Bob, we're on.
We're still
All
early.
right? No, we're.
All right, gotta give her
waiting
time to
for,
set up.
We're gonna throw out these other motions?
Oh, yeah, there's a
Give her a few
packet of
minutes to
all the
set up.
motions rather than having.
Meeting to order. Please rise for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening, everybody, and for those that are not watching the football game tonight. Not yet. First item on our agenda is the reaffirmation of the classification hearing. This is a routine matter.
Mr. Chairman, I move to reaffirm the vote taken. Oh, is it okay? I read the motion?
Do you want to report?
No, the assessing manager is here, and I'll ask her to offer a couple of words to the board as to why this is necessary.
Okay,
All right, why don't we do that first then?
you got it.
Thank you for
Good
coming.
evening. Thank you. This is to reaffirm the vote that you took on November 15th. The growth has to be certified by the Department of Revenue for your signatures. You can hold the classification and then reaffirm. So that's what we're here for tonight.
So we don't need any particular numbers, just
No,
read
no.
the motion as written.
And the rate?
The
Okay.
rate, $14.
Instead of 1401.
Exactly.
Okay. I'm good.
Mr. Prisco.
Mr.
Any,
Chairman,
first of all, any other questions?
Just, Mr. Chairman, since I did not participate in the discussion, or as a member of the board, for the vote, I will be abstaining.
Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to reaffirm the votes taken at the classification hearing held on November 15, 2010 as follows. Number one, establish a tax factor of 1, single tax rate. Number two, not to establish a residential exemption. Number three, not to establish a commercial/industrial exemption.
On the motion, do I hear a second?
I'll second.
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. Yule. Further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
Aye.
So it's 4-0-1.
Right. Just as a side, since the vote's been taken, I don't recall doing this before. I don't know why.
In some cases, it's not uncommon, especially in a reval year, when you have, all of our reval stuff was turned in timely, but the certifications just are delayed or whatever, why, I don't know, but it's not uncommon.
Oh, just it is here. I don't ever recall.
Yeah,
But that's
normally
fine.
we've done it once.
What's that?
All the times
Right.
I've been on the board, yeah, I can recall.
Okay,
All right.
thank you.
Thank you very
The
much.
last part of this, I do need some signatures.
Okay.
There. And this is what gets faxed into the Department of Revenue tomorrow.
And that's under here, right?
That's your chairman, so you go on top.
This is blue, I think. I'll pass it down, and you can have your pen back. Oh, we got another one here?
You have two signatures.
That's blue, yeah.
Thank you.
The allocations, if,
I'm not gonna sign. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Mr.
Thank you.
O'Leary didn't vote, he shouldn't sign it. He was denying it anyway.
So
Denying signature, I mean.
these little blocks, we don't need to check them, do we?
No.
Okay.
Those are for electronic. And they still want hard copy.
Of course.
It's on sale on
Oh, I believe in that.
And nothing else?
No. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Which is fine.
Next, all set? Next item on our agenda are
Thank
the
you.
minutes of November 1st, regular session. Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the November 1st, 2010 regular meeting minutes as written.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Any discussion? Mr. Yule?
Yes, on number 7, discuss strategic plan, first sentence, importance of being on op expenses. And OP expenses.
It probably should have been on top
On
of.
top.
On top.
On top of.
Okay.
You make that.
Yep.
Okay.
Anything
And,
else, Jeff?
Yeah, number 9 in the, I think it was the open new business, or, no, actually, the TA's report. The TA had announced that they had hired the new youth services director, and that wasn't mentioned in here. And I had expressed concern that wasn't mentioned in here either, and I'd like both of those to be in there.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, I move to table approval of the minutes of November 1st till they're properly reflect what was just discussed.
Motion by Mr. O'Leary. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Delaney. Further discussion? Any other comments from anybody? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous. We also have the executive session of November 1st.
All right.
Mr. Prisco.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the November 1st, 2010 executive session minutes as written.
Second?
Motion by Mr. Prisco, seconded by Mr. O'Leary. Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Unanimous? Correspondence sheets, pass them down if you want anything. Anyone here for public comment? Yes, ma'am.
When you say public comment, do you mean if I have a question on a past meeting, or do you want me to wait for that? I'm not
That's
sure what public comment is.
Public comment, anything.
Okay.
Sure. Wide
For
open.
a meeting that's not on
Oh,
our
I was trying
agenda.
to find it in my notes. Do I need to stand or am I good here?
You're not shy.
It makes it easier for everybody, and your name and address
Okay.
for recording.
Carol Smith, 3 Whitcomb Way. I was just trying to find my notes. I don't have it in front of me, but I think it was maybe the November 1st meeting where a union question, or union negotiation questions was brought up. And I don't know if it was completely answered. From what I took away from it, it wasn't really answered on my part. I think Mr. Prisco might have brought up whether the negotiations would be private or public. And I think Mr. O'Leary might have, and again, I may be wrong, I'm just trying to go from memory. Mr. O'Leary might have said there's a time where you strategically decide whether to make them public or private, and that was in the summer?
Yeah, the ground rule sessions generally, right.
Not
Okay.
Those were-
necessarily
Yeah.
to a season, but
Right.
at the point you first get together to
So anytime
negotiate.
you're doing a new labor
Right.
negotiation, the board decides,
It's not the,
with it.
well, it's the parties decide, town administrator and representation from the union.
okay. So typically, I noticed they're usually never public. Is there a reason why they're not public forums?
We typically don't post our union contracts on the website. If they're settled, we can post them, but while things are still under discussion, we don't post items on the website.
Is there a reason for that, or?
The ground rules state that all discussions are to be held in closed session or executive session.
I think that's what your question was,
Right.
Greg.
I guess, yeah.
That's
That,
okay.
I guess my question is then, if it's private, why is this the only public expenditure meeting or, yeah, discussion private? You know, it
Because that's
starts-
because that's what the ground rules state, is that the discussions are to be
But who
held in
made up the
private.
ground?
I did.
Okay.
And
So
the
it's
ground,
town-
and the ground rules are very typical in this community, have been in this community for very many years and have never changed. And the negotiation of ground rules is a perfunctory matter. It takes a few minutes. It's not a lengthy discussion.
Is it something that could be changed, though? Just because it
Certainly.
hasn't been changed,
Certainly.
what would one do to start the ball in that direction?
Ball is already rolling in accordance with what the board has suggested we do in the future.
So going forward in the next labor
We
negotiations?
certainly will make that as a request, but remember, any request requires cooperation of our union personnel. And to the extent our union personnel agree with that proposal, we will certainly put it forward. But keep in mind that it takes agreement by both parties.
A majority vote or just
No,
a
no,
50?
no, agreement between the
Okay.
negotiation teams. That's what's required.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else here for public comment? Okay, the next item on our agenda is to amend, an amendment to the home rule petition. Mr. Belkonis.
Board members, included in your packet is a proposed draft of a document to be sent into the Representative Jones's office. It's concerning the vote that was taken under Article 10 at the October 4th town meeting, which amended Section 2.4.1 of the town code. That's the section that addresses the date of the annual town meeting, which is held in April of every year. The vote that was taken at town meeting simply changed one section of Article 2.4.1. In conducting further research when this matter was going before the legislature, it was indicated that there were 2 additional references that should be changed in the town charter, which referred to the April town meeting, and that those should be struck and substituted with the word April. excuse me, with June, and council has recommended that that's a